and thanks for coming, you guys. And we're going to talk a little bit about something that I've learned over the last year. And I want to share with you something that really opens my mind up. And hopefully that this little segment will open your mind up on what makes us human. So the theme today is empathy. And the word that we're going to use today is simian. Simian simply means a characteristic relating to humans or primates. Anything that looks remotely human, like having a torso, a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs, maybe a tail. That's what a simian means. Like for somebody maybe with who is like Jeremy Lin, who has very long arms and long legs, he would look like a simian, relating to a monkey or a baboon. But what is empathy exactly? Can I give you a definition of what empathy means? Not Michael. Jim?
So being able to see yourself in someone else.
Close. Okay. It's kind of close. Anyone else? It's close though. Actually, empathy simply means your ability or your capacity to recognize another person's emotions. And that person doesn't even have to be human. It could be an animal, if you can actually think of that. Think about your favorite dog or your cat, or even a pet horse, or even a monkey if you have one. And sometimes people who have these pets tend to empathize with whatever feelings that their pet may have. It can be applied to also other humans. And so for today, we're going to have two very special speakers. And I believe we're going to have Susan and Michael who can doing 2 speeches here. Michael has a little special for us today, as far as I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have a humorist today?
Jim always have a good joke. Jim,
I know one.
You know a joke? Hey, come on up, Jerry. Come on up.
Is empathy unique to humans? Or in other words, is empathy unique to simians? Because I understand we're talking about 2-legged beasts, right? On the surface, I would argue that yes, it is unique, a unique quality to humans. However, having recently acquired a puppy, and now a preteen dog, the guy shows so much emotion. When I happened to bump my foot the other day on the side of a coffee table, aching in pain, I thought, looking at his eyes, into his eyes, that the poor fellow was sharing my pain. Once I finally got over my pain, and I was on my road to delight, I saw his demeanor change. Interesting, isn't it? Kind of an informal experiment, if you will. However, with that, perhaps a glimpse that empathy is not unique to us humans. Rather, it might span other species as well. Madam Table Partners.
Thank you.
I want you guys to walk out of this with some raw in you when we get done. As Nick mentioned, RA stands for responsibility, authority, and accountability. Okay, now those are things you encounter pretty much every day. Everybody pretty much works. Okay, or it has worked, or it has classes or something. Okay, so those are things we hear about all the time as something that are tied to our lives and our jobs. And at the end, we're gonna hit those same key points. At the end, we're gonna get a little personal. You may not even like it, but that's okay, because at the end, we're going to go raw again, and everybody will be part of that. How's that? Here's the thing, though. Responsibility, authority, and accountability. They all have to go together in order to be successful at any endeavor in which you step out to accomplish. Now, the responsibility, often we get responsibility like I did at work just this week. I've been at my job for a year, went on some vacation, I came back and I got my end-of-year review. And as part of that end of year review, I was, okay, you did everything we thought you'd do in the year, okay, and now here's what we want you to do with the rest of the year. And they gave me new responsibility. They gave it to me. The piece is that I also needed to accept it. You've got to accept that responsibility. You get it given to you. And sometimes it's just there for breathing. I mean, you're kind of responsible for feeding yourself every day. You do that or you die. But responsibility has that piece to it too. So it can be given to you, okay, and you need to accept it. And what goes with it is an obligation to act on whatever it is, whatever you're responsible for. It's the homework tomorrow. It's the homework. Is it the proposal for $2 million? It's due at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow that I have to get in? Yes. Okay? I'm responsible for that. To go with that in order to carry out your responsibility, you need something else. Authority. You got to have authority to act. Now that authority, if it's just you doing your homework, you've got authority by definition. But if it's not there, you get authority from somebody, again, granting it to you. Okay? Mike's in charge. Mike, put your hand up. You're in charge, right? I'm in charge. With that, then I get authority to act. And I can, as part of that, it means I can give orders, I can set deadlines, I can do those things. I can act on somebody's behalf, provided they said, Michael speaks for me. They got to kind of throw that out there. And then the third thing you need with authority that really matters is you got to have legitimacy. They can put me in charge of anything, but that doesn't mean that the people in this room are going to follow me over the cliff. Okay? I can say, let's go, but you've got to believe that this person has the capabilities, they can deliver all of those things that make their authority legitimate. Legitimate. So you got responsibility on one hand. So now you've taken it. You've been given the authority to act. Okay? So we've got a couple of pieces. I think there's another little piece there. Accountability. Accountability is the thing that scares us. We're kind of afraid of responsibility because we know if we have authority, everybody's expecting us to do it, which means we're accountable. Right? They're going to look at us, and we usually hear accountability as, oh my God, if that proposal doesn't go in tomorrow at 4:30, I know that as much as I did a great job this last year, okay, Monday, I might find one of those empty boxes on my desk, and they say, please fill it. Right? So most people think of accountability always in the negative. But accountability has another side. By being accountable, it actually can give you impetus to do the other, if you look at it as the positive. Not only do I need to do it in terms of it was my responsibility and I had authority to go do it, but the accountability gives you a place to stand up and say, I did this. I took it to the end. So the accountability allows you to be accountable to yourself in a positive way so you can drive yourself forward because of that responsibility. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that kind of follow? I hope it does, because I don't have a lot of time to go back foot on. But the reality is the three fit together. And with those, then you have accountability. Responsibility, accountability, authority. What's the last one? I forgot already. Responsibility, authority, and accountability. Toastmasters. I see this list over here. We all have a responsibility to participate. Right? So that means that when we need a timer, it shouldn't be the hardest thing to do to get a timer at the last minute on Thursday. And speakers, we're here to learn. I have been through every one of the speeches. I've been through 2 of the groups of manuals, lost some manuals, everything else. Responsibility, you got a responsibility. You have authority to act, right? You have the authority to make it happen. You have the authority to play your role. I haven't heard you click me yet. Come on. And so, with that, you can make it happen. And you can drive the whole piece. You can drive yourself into a role. You can say in advance, I speak for myself. Give me a role next week. I'll take it. And then accountability is the showing up. Now the accountability piece, we don't have a way to beat you with a stick. We don't have a way to hold you back or do anything like that. But with the accountability, there's a piece yourself. I recently had a little problem with accountability. I was supposed to be somewhere. I was late. My wife was mad. And I told a friend about it. He goes, you needed to be accountable. How have you been accountable for her? Now, she could get mad at me and I'm being punished. But the flip side of accountability there, too, is I can go to her and say, I was late. I was wrong. What can I do for you? I want to be accountable. And guess what? You're out of trouble. Next time you're late to a meeting and you know you're going to be late, stop at the donut store, grab a box of donuts. Hey, I'm late, everybody, but here's donuts. You will never, nobody will ever forget or ever remember that you were late. So the three go together. Responsibility, authority, and accountability. And with those together, all of you can get your raw on. So together, you ready? Ready to go? 1, 2, 3. Raw!